Like condoms and books to me. Have you seen this bitch?
The Beast in the Cave is a short story written by Howard Phillips Lovecraft. He began a draft for the story in the spring of 1904 and finished his final draft in 1905, the young age of 14. The story follows an unknown individual who has become lost in the recesses of a massive cave system after leaving his tour to explore on his own. He has his torch go out when he begins to hear footfalls that were not like those of any mortal man. He later, in the darkness, hears the creature bearing towards him and throws a chunk of limestone at it, incapacitating it. He then runs forward to find the cave's tour guide, who accompanies him back to the creature's resting place. There they see the cave-like anatomy of the creature. All white. White flesh, white hair. It appears apish. But the creature rolls over in a dying act, and our main character is distraught at the eyes. Pitch black. I'm now going to read you the last portion of the story, because it is geniusly written. Then fear left, and wonder, awe, compassion, and reverence succeeded in its place. For the sounds uttered by the stricken figure that lay stretched out on the limestone had told us the awesome truth. The creature I had killed, the strange beast of the unfathomed cave, was, or had at one time been, a man. The words used to describe the actually quite simplistic narrative is what really brings the story together. The ending is somewhat predictable, but with the palpable atmosphere built up in the story, it will give you real goosebumps. For example, when he first speaks of being lost, I was lost, completely, hopelessly lost in the vast and labyrinthine recesses of the mammoth cave. Or when he describes the cave as the bowels of the earth, or when the guide realizes the beast is a man. This is written. The guide clutched my coat sleeve and trembled so violently that the light shook fitfully, casting weird, moving shadows on the walls about us. I made no motion, but stood rigidly still, my horrified eyes fixed upon the floor ahead. I won't continue to list example after example, but my point is that a relatively tame idea of a man lost in a cave meeting a monster who turns out to be a human is done masterfully here. The writing and build-up to everything leaves you with dread and a foreboding sense of unease or stilt. Keep in mind, this is a short story of 6 pages long, written by a 14-year-old in the 1900s. Even being so young, his vocabulary is boastful compared to even most adults I know. A short story that has this much care and feeling exploding off of the page is not only worthy of praise, but a powerful inspiration to any looking to write their own short story, or write in general. Also, to those wondering, yes, I will be putting any vocabulary words I can fit into the description below, so you won't have to go on a mad goose chase to find out what a sepulchre is. The Beast in the Cave is an example of a timeless story, akin to how The Hobbit is so well written that you wouldn't even realize it was written in the 30s. The Beast in the Cave emboldens the idea of stories being timeless. It has no dated speak, despite its age. It is sophisticated and smooth to read. You never think, how does that even make any sense? To someone who was beginning to be a writer of their own, I would tell them to read The Beast in the Cave. Not so he copies it, but so he understands the complexity of making your reader feel immersed and caring about the world and characters you have created. To write a story in the vein of the greats is a feat in of itself, but if you can write something using the vivid detail and juicy descriptions that leap from your page into the reader's imagination, then you have succeeded. In closing, if you ever get the chance, read a good book. Or if you're really interested, I recommend The Complete Fiction of H.P. Lovecraft. Thank you for sitting through my basically school essay, and hasta luego. You wanna fucking click it, bitch.